What is up, everybody? This is RadTechShoe, and I am bringing you part 6 of my Devil May Cry 4 LP. So before we get started, we're going to head up into the power-up menu, and I'm just going to power up a few things. I'm going to have a look around. And the Red Queen, we're going to get an ability. I've been wanting to get it for a while, and I could have gotten it. I just decided now's a good time to get it. But we're going to get the roulette spin. It's probably my favorite aerial technique that Nero has. And in the abilities, right now I'm just looking around and browsing. I was thinking about getting the Get More Orbs ability, but I decided to hold off on that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Snatch 2. So now, when I go to use my Devil Bringer to pull enemies in, I have a greater reach. So, right off the bat here, we're going to be atop a pit. But before we jump into the pit, around the other side, as you can see right there, you saw it in the distance on the right side of the screen, is a blue orb fragment. So we're definitely going to get that before we drop down. Bam. Alright, let's hop on in, all the way down. Now, down here, there's not much else. There's a couple green orbs, and obviously a combat adjudicator that we can't use. But instead, we're going to rev up, come through the door, and be introduced to some brand new enemies.
Damn it.
Okay, so these are Cutlass. Cutlass are piranha or fish-like creatures. They're really irritating. Their concept is their fins are exposed. You shoot at the fins. Once you've done enough to the fins, it will cause the body to become exposed. The problem is sometimes when you shoot at them for like what feels like forever, their body doesn't get exposed. So when their body is exposed, that's when you attack them with their sword, and it pulls them out of the ground. However, as you can tell, I'm shooting these guys, and it's just not really doing much. So just dodge their attacks when they come on out. They're like right there. He was exposed just long enough for me to hit him, and now I can finally do damage to this bastard. So that's one down, 2 to go. As you can tell, they're pretty big, actually, but they're really annoying, and the fact that they can scale the walls like this and swim through the walls in the ground, it just makes this fight really pointless. I mean, well, not pointless. It makes it harder than it needs to be. I'm definitely not a fan of fighting these enemies. So these guys were dragging out the fight pretty much by not letting me pull them out of the ground. So there we go. Now here's the final one. It usually doesn't take me this long to kill them. I usually defeat them pretty quickly. But for some reason this time around, they were a little more difficult than they normally were. So now we're going to head through the door at the very end of the tunnel. So just run all the way down here, and Nero's going to pick up speed. We have a fun little mini game we're going to play in this mission. And this minigame will actually can be very helpful or hurtful to us, depending upon how it goes. Alright, so let the game begin. What we have to do is right here, it pretty much tells us that we have to move our character across the board. And depending upon what colors he lands on, determines what happens. Right here he lands on blue. That means we get a bunch of orbs. In this situation, we'll get chests. Break open the chest to get our rewards. And we also get a Vital Star as well. A medium Vital Star. Now, if he lands on a blue icon, that's what he gets. A yellow icon allows him to teleport to the connecting yellow icon. White does absolutely nothing. It's just, you know, continue on, nothing happens. Red is an enemy encounter. So pretty much, and the trick is with yellows you can actually go backwards, because sometimes you might land on a yellow square that's circle that's connected to a yellow circle behind it. It will transport you back. So right now we just landed on red, so we're gonna fight some frosts. So, like I said, these guys, it's not too difficult to navigate this room. Eventually you'll get across. It's not like you can really be stuck here forever. Well, I suppose you can if you keep landing on a yellow that sends you back, and you don't ever stop landing on it. But I can't imagine that the chances of that happening repeatedly. So for the most part, we're just going to get rid of these frosts, and then we'll be able to proceed. So you can't really do anything until they're dead. So obviously we just got to kill them. The thing I don't like about fighting frosts is sometimes they choose not to get stunned by some attacks. Like some of Nero's slashes do damage it, but he doesn't like flinch or anything. You know, they can pretty much just tough it out and just attack you anyway, and I just don't like that. So now that the dice is back, let's go ahead, shoot it. You can shoot it or slash it, whichever you prefer. Alright, so now we got red orbs falling from the sky. So so Nero's speed actually allows him to pick up a few more than he normally would. Alright, so now it's time for more enemies. This time it's just scarecrows. And right there was the roulette spin. An awesome little combo. It can even reach below Nero and pick up enemies that were on the ground, like that scarecrow right there when I did it. So the roulette spin is an awesome combo. It does a decent amount of damage too. So it's great for dealing with enemies, and especially in groups. Because his sword slash, he swings all around him. And this game is almost over. We've got a few more roll of the die to get through. And then after this, we're going to have a unusual boss fight. But I'll point that out as it happens, like what's unusual about it. Alright, so right here, I just need anything greater than a 2, and I'm done. And of course I get a 1. Alright. So, time for some more frosts. And I don't know how I got frozen in midair like that, but whatever. Alright. 1 frost down, 2 more to go. And don't worry about them just damaging your character. Like, you know, them attacking the Nero piece on the game board doesn't do anything, so don't worry about having to defend it. But this is a fun game. Next mission will be a nice change of scenery. And like I said, now we're getting to the point where the story is coming together and we're figuring out what's going on, because the first few missions, everything's really kind of confusing in terms of what's happening. But now the story is starting to reveal itself, and this is going to be a fun game with an interesting story.
So, you've come. Just as I'd expected.
Huh. Who the hell are you?
I'm Agnus. Working in secrecy. Very few are privy to my existence.
Funny. To figure an order official out for a stroll in a hellhole kind of place like this.
Hellhole? Watch your words!
Just as foul-mouthed as I had heard, the rumors proved true. As were the new ones concerning your demise.
Don't you think that's a little harsh? Killing me because of the way I talk? Great. More demons.
This is all Kratos' doing. It was Kratos who ordered you to follow Dante. It was Kratos who brought you here.
Dante? You mean the man that killed His Holiness? What the hell's going on here?
I don't have to answer to you, for you are already as good as dead.
I beg to differ.
Alright, so now it's time for a boss fight with Agnus. And this guy is, like I said, this is the unusual boss fight. We're not fighting against him directly. What we have to do is break the mirror. That's it. That's what the health bar at the bottom is. It's the mirror. It's not really him. We're not damaging him at all. And the flying demons that you see are called Gladius. One of the reasons why I purchased Snatch Level 2 was so that I can reach these things easier. Because they're going to be the main method of attack for me. You can jump up and attack the glass with your sword all you want. But, yeah, I don't recommend it since it's difficult to deal with the Gladius anyway. So all we have to do is just grab the Gladius, throw it at them, dodge their attacks. The only problem with this fight is sometimes Nero does not like to target the Gladiuses that are in front of him. He'll target the ones that are off screen, or the ones that you don't want him to target. You know. So, for the most part, this is just patience. You gotta read the enemies, don't hesitate to pick up some orbs along the way. Read their attacks, try and dodge them whenever you can. Shooting them is a good way of knocking them out of the air so you can pick them up. When the ground starts shaking, jump up, use your gun to keep you in the airborne so you don't get electrocuted. Pretty simple. And you just have to pretty much outlast it. It's a pretty simple fight. There's no reason to worry about this. The only thing is sometimes the one Gladius, when you throw a Gladius, it'll get in the way of another one, and it won't damage him. It won't damage the window, obviously. So once the window's been broken, the fight's automatically over and all the Gladius vanish. So we don't have to... The Gladius are infinite. There's a limitless amount of them in this room. And if you noticed, I haven't used my sword once because there's really almost no point to.
That's the much power. How can it be?
Look who's talking, jackass. Answer my question. What the hell's going on here?
How profound. It's magnificent.
Okay, did you even hear me?
If you want answers, then I shall give them to you. It has only been a few years since I began this research. Could we isolate and bind demonic power? It could enable us to conquer the world. And that is the wish of His Holiness.
What a crock. And you may as well ditch the efforts, pal, because His Holiness is dead.
But His Holiness has been reborn as an angel.
An angel.
And soon, so shall I. See, what just a small fraction of my research has yielded? Look how beautiful this white armor stands. You have no idea the hardship to make just one armor come to life. I had to capture and control countless demons to harness their souls. Summoning them alone was almost an insurmountable task.
Summoning? So it was you who made the gate?
Yes, the Hellgate. I created it merely as a reference and substitution for the real gate. But after utilizing an extremely powerful devil's arm, it proved sufficient.
What the hell are you talking about?
You should rest. Soon, you shall be my next subject of experimentation, so that I can learn a little something from you and that arm.
Never.
Take him out.
Gideon, run!
Nero!
Gideon! Gideon! should get back to headquarters. If what Agnew said is true, Kratos must have known something.
Alright, so now Nero has Yamato. Yamato is the, it grants Nero the ability to Devil Trigger. So even though he just picked up a weapon, it's not something he can manually use. But it gives him the ability to Devil Trigger, and now Nero is very dangerous and even more fun to play with now. So, attack the wheel to trigger a cutscene that will open up a new path. Alright, so now we can head up the stairs. We're going to head up this, but before we do, let's destroy all the cans out here and get some red orbs. And we have a blue orb fragment out here to get. So we're going to head up the stairs, and up the stairs is a door. But before we go into the door, we're going to actually go up onto the grating, onto the top of the cage, in order to get our blue orb fragment. So, there it is. There you can see it. What you have to do is you have to try and line it up, and then use the streak, and then air hike when you get close enough. As you can tell, it's not exactly the easiest thing to do, but it can be done. You know, when I did my test playthrough, I got it on the first try, no problem. This time around, it's going to take me more than one try in order to get it. So right here, I'm trying to line it up. And for some reason, he launched way off to the right, and I have no idea why. But don't worry, I will get it. And I know you're probably noticing that this is an extremely long video. And believe it or not, we're just now 2/3 of the way through with this video. Alright, good. Now that we got our blue orb fragment, now we can proceed. And yes, this is definitely a long video, so I apologize for that, but the cutscenes just drag out forever, and I don't want to skip them because I don't want you to miss anything. So, in here, in the angel creation room, go figure, we're going to be fighting some angels. So now it's time to fight some Bianco Angelos. We're going to fight one right here, and then after we defeat this one, another one will appear. So, there we go. Alright, two more actually appear. So for the most part, like I said, I'll show off Yamato and Nero's Devil Trigger. The problem is, if you notice, he only has 3 slots of Devil Trigger, and it actually depletes very, very quickly. So having very little and having it deplete quickly, it's not really amazing right now. Next mission though, when we gain the ability to buy purple orbs, that's when it becomes really, really useful to us. Alright, so before we actually move any further, let's come on over here, over to these experiments, and you notice Nero's arm's glowing. And right over here is a secret mission. So let's do this. Secret mission 4. This one is actually kind of easy as well. However, it's random. There are 3 hidden orb stashes, and every time you do this secret mission, they're randomized. You never know exactly where. There's no set pattern to guarantee where they're going to be, so you have to run around and use Nero's arm as a clue, to give you clues as to where they are. So right there, for some reason it was glowing, and I'm just like, okay, where is it, where is it, where is it? So I'm just running along up here, looking at Nero's arm and listening for anything. I got nothing. So we're going over here, and I'm like, ah, the mirror. Makes sense. Stand in the middle. Bam. We got 90 out of 99, and we got just over a minute to go. This last spot actually kind of stumped me for a bit. I was just like, okay, I'm checking all the major areas. But for some reason, I couldn't figure out where it would be. There's nothing up here. And then I'm like, hold on, okay, I'm glowing. I'm in the right area. I'm somewhere near it. Sometimes it's up here on these on the flying buttresses, but for some reason, it wasn't up here, so I'm like, okay, let's check the other one. No. And I'm like, where the hell is it? Is it over by the door? No. And I'm like, hold on. Wait. Right in the middle of the room. And there's our reward, our blue orb fragments. So, like I said, this third one, I didn't expect it to be right over there, right in the middle of the carpet. Alright, so, secret mission over. Now we can go ahead, and we're going to go up the stairs, follow it all the way across, and we're going to encounter some more Bianco Angelos as we do. So let's just go ahead and rev up and get ready to deal with them. You're going to see me use Devil Trigger, and it's just going to it just makes quick work of these guys, provided they're not blocking. If they're blocking, even when I'm in Devil Trigger, they can reflect my attacks and try and counter. So as you can tell right there, makes quick work of them, but it's already done. It's already over. I ran out of Devil Trigger, so it's very quick. It's over very quick, and it's kind of a pain to just have to run out of Devil Trigger like that quickly. But it is nice that Nero can finally Devil Trigger. So now, as you notice, Nero's arm's glowing again. Over here. Come on over this way. Stand over on this path over to the left. Hidden red orb stash. Okay, come on out here and let's trigger a whole group of Bianco Angelos to fight all at once. And right there, that one tried to rush me. So, pretty much at this point, this mission is pretty straightforward. It's just the Bianco Angelos drag out the fight. And it's not the, this mission is very long, including the cutscenes. But it's worth it considering now we have Yamato and we have a new list of abilities to purchase with Yamato. Not many, but I did mention that the Devil Trigger depletes real quickly, but there is a way to take care of that, and we're going to take care of that next mission in the power-up menu. We're going to get a new ability for Yamato. And yeah, look how quick that's it. It's over so dang fast. I just don't like that. But don't worry, this is the only time that'll be a problem. Next mission and from then onwards, it will not be a problem. So, now that all the Bianco Angelos are destroyed, let's head on out. Now, just interact with the control panel. It will shut the doors, open the gate, and it will activate the launch platforms for Nero. So just ride them all the way up. However, stop off on some of the walkways to smash some barrels to get some red orbs. Stop off on this one next as well. Here's 2 more barrels. Alright, and now we're back up here. So, let's head on back all the way up to the portrait of the priest that we smashed through at the end of last video. Head out either of one of the side doors, it doesn't matter. rev up. We got some frost to deal with. And we're going to go all the way back out to the waterfall. This mission is almost over. Just bear with me a few more minutes. Man, 30 plus minutes. And you know, I haven't played a mission, you know, this long in quite a while. I mean, mission 18 was pretty, and Devil May Cry 3 was pretty big. But at least it was able to shorten it up for you guys. But this one, unfortunately, I wasn't able to shorten up because I couldn't afford to remove any content. So, like I said, I apologize for this video's length, but this is really what the mission is. It's somewhat of a long mission, but it's the cutscenes that really drag out. So, just bear with me for a few more minutes. We're almost done. Alright, so now that the frosts are dead, we can finally get out of here. Alright, so now we're back at Forest Falls. Let's head across the bridge that we created, thanks to the waterfall being stopped. And as we head across, a small cutscene will trigger, sealing our path behind us, forcing us to move only forward. Alright, so head up the rampway. And out here, yes, the name reads right, we are heading off into a forest. Even though we're up high in the snowy mountain range, there's a lively and lush and lively forest up here. And we'll trigger the final cutscene with a familiar face.
Forest?
What the hell is this? Must be the effect of the gate. Sorry, kid. This is gonna have to wait.
How much could he really know?
And that is the end of Mission 6, finally. So as you can see, it's only 17 minutes long, but a 35 plus minute video devoted primarily because of cutscenes. So, like, you know, that's just pretty brutal, but hey, you know, at least we're finally done. So, now we're just going to go ahead and save our game on alternating save slots. And next mission is fun. We're going to purchase some new abilities for Nero. And because Nero has Devil Trigger, we'll finally have access to purple orbs. And you can bet your butt I'm going to buy a bunch of those. I've been saving up for them. And I will see you all there in the next mission. This is RadTech Shu, signing off.